Joining me now from Berlin is our correspondent Nick Spicer. I understand, Nick, the Chancellor Merkel has been reacting to the expulsion. What did she have to say?
Well, you're right. She did, and she used her typically measured tones to say that the expulsion of the diplomats was a sign of lawlessness, which is about as far as she gets when it comes to scolding. But let's not forget who we're talking about. Angela Merkel is the European leader who has really led the charge against Russia when it comes to sanctions. Just to continue with the Navalny story, he was treated in Germany for 5 months after being poisoned with the military nerve agent Novichok. And Merkel visited him at his bedside, which is a political gesture of its own. And before that, she led Europe in imposing sanctions on Russia for its annexation of Crimea in 2014. More recently, she's been leading the Europeans in calling for a peaceful transformation of Belarus, which is sort of a satellite state of Russia. And she has a really long relationship with standing up to Vladimir Putin. And I think part of it has to do with who she is. Let's not forget, she's from the former East Germany, grew up under the communist system, won a prize for speaking fluent Russian in her region, speaks Russian with Vladimir Putin. And during the whole Ukrainian event said this is a man, she's not one to leak things, but it was leaked, who is living in another world. So she's used to dealing with the Russians and has used strong language today. I think what really stood out for me was the way she was talking about her and Emmanuel Macron welcoming the arrival in diplomatic terms of a new American administration, which is to say Joe Biden, who has come out and saying NATO is a very important alliance, and it is by our alliances that we are made strong. And just going back to what the point of NATO is in the diplomats' catchphrase, it's to keep the Germans down, back when it was created, the Americans in, and the Russians out. And it looks like it's got a new lease on life, thanks to what Macron and Merkel were talking about today. And that can't be good news for Moscow to see the Franco-German couple recognizing again the importance of NATO as they come together, condemn the jailing of Navalny and the expulsion of those diplomats.
Nick Spicer, thank you. Now watching all this with me in the studio